Dividing a whole number by a decimal number. For this example, we're going to divide 105 by 0.5, or 5 hundredths. And you'll see in this example, we do have a whole number as our dividend right here, 105, and we're dividing by our divisor right here, 5 hundredths, a number that has a decimal point in it. So there are some steps we're going to have to follow. And the first step is, step 1, move the decimal to the end of the divisor. So what we're talking about here is our divisor, 5 hundredths, has the decimal at the far left. We're going to move it all the way over to where we get it to the right of where the 5 is. So I'm going to start here and move it one place there, and then 2 places right there. So I put my decimal now, I've moved it 2 places, and I can put a little 2 right here, to the right of the 5. Okay, now step 2. Move the decimal and the dividend the same number of spaces as you move the decimal and the divisor. Well, where's the decimal and the dividend? It's going to be right here after the 5. That's a whole number, so it's going to be right after the 1's place. And we're going to move it the same number of places that we moved it over here in the divisor. So it was 2 places. I see my 2 here. So we're going to go and we're going to move 1, 2, and we're going to place our new decimal right there. Okay? A little bit of a blotch, but it's right there at the end. Fix it. And in the empty spaces, we're going to fill in zeros. You guys are used to seeing this before, but we've got the 2 empty spaces, and so now I'm going to fill in zeros there. So what I've done is move my decimals to the end and basically turn this into what looks like 2 whole numbers, or a whole number being divided by another whole number here. So let's check out step 3 and see what step 3 is here. Step 3, move the decimal point straight up. Okay, well, we already moved the decimal point 2 spaces over in our divisor. We did the same thing in our dividend. So now we're just going to come in here and where our decimal point is, and we moved it right here. I'm going to put an arrow, and we're going to place it straight up. So it'll be right there at the end, and that'll set us up for the division, which is going to be our next step right here. So we have what looks like 10,500 divided by 5. And if we do this accurately, it should give us our answer with the numbers placed correctly in the proper place value here. So we're going to divide by 5, basically, coming across. I know that 5 does not go into 1, so I can put a 0 right here. 5 times 0 is 0. When I subtract right here, I'm going to get 1 below, and I'm going to bring down my next digit, which will be a 0. Makes it a 10. If you know your multiples of 5, 5 does go into 10. It goes into 10 2 times right there. When we multiply 5 times 10 to get an answer at the bottom, we're going to get 10. So we subtract. We know we're probably going to get a 0 out here. Well, we do. 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. And now we can bring down the 5 here. Okay, still multiples of 5. 5 goes into itself 1 time. We're going to multiply 5 times 1, and I should get 5 again at the bottom. My next step is to subtract. So pull my line across. 5 minus 5 is 0. Got to bring down my next digit into 0, and this gets confusing sometimes. But we bring down the 0, we're still going to divide 5 into 0. Well, now we can't do that, but we're still going to keep dividing across until we don't have any numbers to bring down. 5 goes into 0. Well, it doesn't go into 0, so we'll put a 0 at the top right over here. When we multiply 5 times 0, we're going to get another 0 right here. We subtract. Should be pretty straightforward. 0 minus 0 is 0 right here. Got to bring down one more 0. Gives me 0 all over again at the bottom. 5 goes into 0 0 times. And this is where we can finish out. When we multiply 5 times 0, I'm going to write it pretty small, but it's 0 right there. And when we subtract at the bottom, we should end up getting 0 at the bottom. Now it's a little hard to see. Kind of ran out on space on this one, but we can get the gist of it. And our answer is up here at the top. It looks like 2100 right up here. And so when we go to our answer, 105 divided by 0.05, or 5 hundredths, equals really 2,100. 100. So the important thing is to remember to move the decimal over all the way to the end of the divisor, and then do the same thing in the dividend, and then divide accurately.